Hi everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to Tara's Take. So today I have envelopes galore. Can you see? Oh yeah, bunch I've saved. And there's probably some papers and stuff in here too. I don't know. I just grabbed these out of my drawer. But oh my goodness, I wanted to play with envelopes. I've been saving these forever and haven't done anything with them. And I was thinking, so I went online and I looked around and I saw some videos making junk journals with these little small journals, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try. So I didn't really watch any of them all the way through. I just kind of got a gist of what people were doing, watched various ones, and thought I'd come on here and that you and I would try to do this on our own. I'm going to see what I can come up with by myself, so without being super inspired by anybody else. So what I have is a bunch of envelopes we're going to upcycle. I'm not going to use them all, of course, but I am going to try to use a few of them. I am going to use some coffee dyed paper or tea dyed paper, avocado dyed paper, anything I have over here. I am using stuff that I have close to me. I haven't pulled a bunch of stuff from any other source. I have some of my music paper. I have some of my paper from just playing with the what do you call it, the other day we were doing the stenciling and just goofing off with that from last week. And and that's just that packing paper from Amazon. And I have bits and pieces. I have a few whole sheets I'm going to take from, and as you can see, they're just tea dyed papers, copy paper, and I'm also going to use some scraps probably in scrap paper. This may be more than a one-part video because I probably am going to decorate it and of course, and make it pretty. And right now I'm going to construct what I see in front of me and grab some envelopes that look like they're in decent shape, and and they don't have to be the same size. And in fact, I'm even going to tear some down because I want to do some other stuff with them and make them different sizes. Let's see, I was looking here. I know I have some of my little, I gotta move my table here so I can get to my stuff. I know I have some of the card envelopes that I bought that come with like your gift cards, and stuff. Well, these came out of the crafting department. Oh well, I won't get to them right now, but they're here somewhere. I'll find them. Anyway, so what I was thinking was that I would like to use, I have some of these really big ones, okay? And they're pretty torn up, I mean, as you can see. But what I am going to do is I'm going to trim the ones that are really torn apart. I'm going to trim down, okay? Because I don't want to deal with that. And I'm going to use these as the outer, these bigger ones as the outer part, like as a, if I can get a couple that are about the same size. Yay, these are almost the same size. Let's see, do I have any that are the same size? These two look like they are. So I was looking to use these guys, oh shoot, part of it's missing, more or less as the covers, okay? But I am not going to put like the flaps together, and this flap's torn too. I'm not going to use the flaps together. What I was thinking was I'm going to put, so that I'll have more of a hinge effect where I can build on this journal and make it fatter and plumper. Because you know me, more than likely, eventually, I'll be selling it. And this will be one of those kind of fun ones I talked about, starting to do like easier journals that are a little less expensive and people can afford. So, but no, what I was thinking was today is just to have some fun putting some stuff together. So I'm going to grab some of my, I'm thinking if I should use my copy paper or if I should go ahead and use, I want it to be like a soft journal and move. I'm going to straighten my phone. Sorry, guys. I want it to move pretty easily. I'm just pulling back a little bit so you can see better. So what I am going to do is I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. Y'all know I'm not good at that. Now this one's a good flap to utilize. Let's see what size is it. Oh, it's a little bit short. What I was going to say, this one's pretty good. I'm going to use that one. Is, yeah, these two look better. Okay. So what I'm thinking though is I'm going to use it like a hinge to make a spine. Okay. And I was debating if I should use more, and I'm going to go ahead and measure this real quick. So it's about 2 inches. Okay. And that way I have room to build, because you know me, I like to fill up my journal. Anyway, what I was going to say is I was thinking to use a piece of scrapbook paper or something thicker, cardstock more. And then I realized I kind of like this to remain kind of flexible. So I think what I'm going to do is glue together 2 pieces of copy paper instead of doing cardstock, because cardstock is a little harder and firmer than I want this to move, but I want it to be strong. So I am going to put 2 pieces together first. And then, oh, and guess what, you guys? I ended up hurting this hand yesterday. Well, yesterday for me, last week for you. You know what I did? It made me so mad. On that punch that I always complain about, that Fisker punch, it's got the beautiful edges, you know, that does the corners. I was trying to do it, and I was using my finger like this, and I was pushing it, trying to push down, and I ended up damaging my knuckle on this hand. So now this one is just feeling better, and I've damaged this one, and it hurts. Anyway, so if you see me kind of stumbling a little bit when I grab stuff, it's because it's hurting me really bad. So I'm not gluing this all the way, because I'm not going to use this whole piece. Okay, I didn't even make it even, because I know I'm only going to be using the length of this envelope, these envelopes. Okay, so I'm trimming some of it off, so it doesn't matter. There we go. Now at this point, you can even open these envelopes up on the edge, so you've got pockets, or on the top, so you have a pocket on the top. We could do anything we want. This is almost going to be put together kind of like I thought of folios when I was watching the different ones I watched. I'm just wiping this a little bit. I've got glue, and I want to make sure I'm not bumpy and stuff like that. Anyway, the ones I was watching, it was reminding me more of like almost like a folio. We'd make one, but at the same time having a little bit different journal effect than that. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring this, I think, in so that I have more of a, because then I'm going to start gluing these in together, and this way the fold, it's going to have its own little spine. That's my point. And I'm actually thinking that I may try tucking, because see what I was noticing they were doing was just building it from this way. Okay, so that like this portion was their spine, and they weren't able to broaden it more than that. And I was thinking, as I was watching them, I want it to be something that I can fold and have it be a thicker journal type journal, you know. And I just blew that. Let me put that back. I was trying to glue without getting the glue every which way, but I didn't succeed, as you saw. Let me just stick that back in. Okay. Now, because I have some glue on there, now it's stumbling. There. Now, all I want to do is glue that down really quick. So that's kind of secure. Okay. So now this is going to be glued together, and I don't have to worry about that. And what I'm going to do is go ahead, and I was going to put this on the outside, but now I'm thinking I might put it on the inside. I'm going to add, let me get a glue page, guys. There. Gotta find them. Okay. All right. Okay. Make sure it's down. All right. And on this part, see, I'm just going to go ahead, and if it's too long, I'll trim it. Not a biggie. And I'm going to use my other glue for this portion and just go around. And I'm going to be covering all of this. So can you guys see okay? Yeah. I'm going to be covering all this on the outer part anyway, like a cover would. And so I'm not going to worry about the art glitter glue lines, you know, how it'll do and show through paper and stuff. Because it's not going to be showing when it's all said and done. So there we go. There's our little, basically it's a spine, but it's not, like I said, it's going to let it keep its roundness, but it's going to let it grow. And also using these larger envelopes, I'm hoping that will also be part of its growth. And I'm thinking, because this one has this opening, I may go ahead and make this like I may open this at the top and utilize this window for the front. That'll be kind of cute. I don't want to bend this yet because I want to get my envelopes, and I'm thinking if I can, my paper inside of here first. And then I want to let it naturally fold over, you know, what I have, instead of giving it a crease, because that would kind of negate the fact of why I did that, you know what I'm saying? It would make the point moot of why I just glued that in. So I'm not going to be folding this yet until I know I have built up what I want on the inside. Okay? Oops. Let me just make sure this corner has glue. All right, so let's get to having some fun. So we can, I mean, there's so many things you can do here. You could glue this shut. You can coffee dye and tea dye these. I'm not going to because I'm impatient and I didn't have any ready. So I am going to be gluing paper onto these, distressing them and doing stuff like that. But you don't have to do that. We can utilize the whole width of the cover, the back and the front cover with these, or you can bring it inward and make it shorter. You know what I'm saying? You can pretty much do this however you want. Let me see. I'm thinking this one's a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to glue this envelope shut. I could probably, it's never been used, I could probably just lick that and glue it shut, but that's okay. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim this down some and make this one a top loading pocket. And what I was also wanting to use was to play with a little bit. I'm going to be doing a lot of hinging in here. Here's a piece of my, just some stamped packing paper I used. I love this paper. It's so versatile. You can do anything with it. Let's see, how long is that? It's long enough. There we go. And I'm going to use this as like a hinge. This is going to be at the top. Did I make that short enough? I think it's not straight enough. Let's straighten that out a little more. There we go. That's a little better. And I'm just going to do like a little hinge here, okay? And like I said, you can do this hinge wherever you want. You can put it, oh, those are cool marks. But I have those awesome Tim Holtz mushrooms on the other side that I want them to show. So I'm putting it so that it's on the top. Okay. And now this will be able to hinge in here. And because, see, if I had not glued the flap, I could have used the flap. But because I did the flap, and I am totally doing this off the cuff, I have not tried this. I decided to be brave and just jump on here with you guys and do it. And so, yeah, I've probably told you by now, I'm here at the house by myself right now, but Cordy is off getting the stuff out of the truck that he got, that he was in an accident in. Well, it is in a shop. It was totaled, and they decided, the boss decided he didn't want to keep it. I'm just going to randomly put this in here. So if this ends up, it's not on the fold of the journal, this is just going to be a piece that would almost like a page would flip open. Do you see that? Okay, so I'm just going to glue a portion of this because I don't know if it's going to be quite, I think it might be cool not to have it as a hinge as much as just have it as an attachment, and then they can actually possibly even write on this part of it. So I'm going to bring it out like to the end of the cover and just glue it down, and that's going to be in there. Okay. So it'll be like that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to put more stuff behind it, you know, but it might, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, he's up picking up like his jack out of the truck because it's at a car auction place. I'm hoping that the people in the body shop didn't go, oh, well, nobody's claiming this, so we'll keep it, and took his stuff. You know, I'm hoping, because he had to drive about an hour, a little over an hour away from here. So that's about 50, 60 miles from where we live, to pick up his belongings out of that truck. Also, he has resigned from that job. So I probably already told you this on Mass Monday, because this is, I believe, going to go up on Tuesday. But just in case I haven't, he did resign. I'm pretty sure I told you yesterday, so I won't repeat the story. But anyway, yeah. So be praying for us, because the Lord, it's time, you know, to believe the Lord for another and a new blessing. So, okay. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead. You know what? Instead of putting them in here directly, I am going to put some together and see what I can come up with here. And again, on this one, I am going to seal it shut, because I'm going to make this like a little pocket. That's why I tore these two in half. Hopefully I did not just put too much glue and glue that shut. Oh, I do have a little bit on the inside. At least I caught it before it dried. Did I do it on this side too? I don't think so. No, this side's good. Okay. So I was thinking, do I want this as the flap, or do I want to do like another... I do love to do hinges. I think they're fun. That looks about right. So you're probably going to see me do quite a few spots with hinges in here, because I just like them. I think it's fun to see, you know, to have flip overs and flip outs and the flip ups and downs and all that. And yeah, I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this one. Gosh, I don't usually jump on here and do like random work like this, but you know, I think I need to just, I've had kind of a stressful week. I've had a pretty stressful week for me. I am definitely a creature of habit, and I love security and knowing that things are all, you know, in place, and that I'm good, and my schedule is not getting, you know, affected too strongly. And you know, I'm just kind of one of those people. I'm a little bit boring that way. I like same-o, same-o. Oh, I just glued that in upside down. I didn't mean to do that. It's going to go this way. And this has definitely impacted that part of my... And, you know, there's always that factor of the unknown. When your spouse has lost a job, or he actually did resign. He did not lose his job. He quit. And I gave him my 150% support, because, as I've probably told you guys the story, he really got screwed over bad. Like, really done in. Really, really done in. Sorry for my language. I shouldn't say it like that. But he really did get done. So, and there we go. Let's see. See, technically I haven't done the Mass Monday video yet, so I have not told you guys about what happened yet for me. And so I'm wanting to talk about it because I haven't talked about it yet. But I am going to wait and talk about it, because I know in the order these videos are going up. And so if you hear me mention it a couple times, I apologize. I am trying. Okay, I'm going to focus on this. We're not going to talk about other stuff. We're going to talk about this journal, because I need to work out in my head how it's going to go. So I definitely know that don't want, you know what? I'm going to do it like this because I want this to have the ability to function within this spine. I don't want to lock it into that little tiny space. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have to go ahead and do a little fold here so that I can see where everything is sitting. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to meet this to this side, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and hold it there, and I'm going to make my first fold for the spine, because that way, right now, I'm kind of looking at it and going, okay, I'm building this within itself and not giving myself that gap that I need to have a spine here. So there's that one. Yeah, I'm going to hold it here. And what I'm doing is I'm holding this together, and then I'm folding it right here, because that is approximately the comfort zone for the spine on that side. And then I will use my bone folder and fix it in the end here. But right now I'm just wanting to make sure that these two sides match up, okay? But that at the same time it has a gap here. And so I'm creating that gap. It's going to be about 1 inch, it looks like. I could make it bigger, but then I'd have to be trimming down. I would be losing some of my width here. And I kind of want this to be the size that it is, because I wanted to utilize those big envelopes, you know. Now I've done that, so now I can bring this in and I can give it more of a fold. Okay, there we go. Oh, and that's funny. Look, it went right to where that is glued in. That's cool. Okay. So now I am functioning within this range, okay? This is where we're going to be gluing things into, is within this 1 inch. I'm sure that's about 1 inch. It's just below, like a hair's breadth below 1 inch. So now, like with this one, I have this glued shut, and this is glued too, right? So what I want to do, and I'm talking this through for myself more than you, I am going to, I think I might be utilizing this a little bit. This paper is fun, and it doesn't have to be like right to the ends, you know what I mean? It can be within and have a little bit of a gap. So I am going to use this and build my little flaps to give me that extra. If I want to fold it and make it a hinge, I can, or I can leave it flat and just have the pocket slash envelope, because I cut this one down, so this is going to be a top loading envelope here, or pocket, I mean. I'm going to put paper on here to cover the writing, and it's going to be decorated and distressed and all that good stuff, but it's going to be that they can just almost, it's like a page, okay? Yeah, so that'll be cool. And I can even hinge off of it back here and make it, more. I probably should have, let me see if this will pull up still. I was going to say I probably should have waited to glue this in, simply because I'm not sure what I'm going to be putting together, and I should use this time to build. I'm just tearing this out. Without tearing it. There we go. I'm going to retape or reglue this back in, but I'm just going to go ahead and add it to my, I told you I'm working this out as I go, so you're going to get to see warts and all on this one, okay? I know you guys sometimes like that. Most of you love that. My viewers do, because you guys tell me all the time. Okay, so here's our cover we're going to use. And I am going to be gluing it into the cover, but I want to be able to make this journal at least 1 inch thick and not have to worry. So I have that there. All right, so now I'm I'm going to use envelopes, and I don't want to take away from what I was doing. So sorry, I had to get a drink and take a moment. Like I said, it's been stressful this week. So what I was thinking, I was looking here and I don't want to hem-haw too much on the video. So I am going to, I may build this out beyond, I don't know. You know what? It's junk journaling. We can do whatever we want. But I'm thinking I don't want this to become closed off. Like I said, I don't want this to be all about this one tiny little gap and space. I want it to build within this 1 inch. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to put this on here, but I'm going to glue it in such a way that it can be, it can still be movable and not become a part of that spine. I want that gap. That's why I'm putting these pieces of paper in between, because I want that building of it. I don't want the envelopes to become their own spine. I want this to be the spine. So yeah, if I'm making sense, I hope I am. Please let me know in the video comments if I did not make sense, and I will try to be more clear next time. But this is probably the first time in a minute that I've gotten on here and totally not known what I was going to do when I started. So this is all off the cuff and not planned. So for those of you who love those kind of videos, enjoy. So what I'm going to do is do it like this so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to glue this on in a way that I still have that paper movement, you know. That's what I'm talking about. I want that paper to have movement. This may get covered by other paper, or I may cut the paper or tear it down in such a way that it doesn't cover this. And I like to collage on these envelopes so I can keep these windows open. So there'll probably be some of that in this journal, just because I think that's really fun. Now see, right now, this is still fitting inside of here. And I can even glue this into this area that I want it. I want this, there to be that space that, do you see what I'm saying? It's that way it's still workable and it's not closed off. So yeah. So everything I add to each thing is going to probably have some kind of a flap so that when we put it in, everything's going to have movement, and I'll be able to, and I may sew on this. I don't know. I do like to try and glue in on my spines sometimes and not sew. So we'll see what I do. But yeah, so I just want to build this that way. Okay, so let's look here and grab some more envelopes. What all do I have? I have some different sizes. And how would this one do in here now that this would still work? That would be a nice big pocket. So I'm going to glue this one shut and probably create some type of a pocket for it again. Okay. Where did I say? Oh, I'm like, where did I set that? I just had it. Okay. Okay. I'm also, like I said, I'm going to use other paper, not just this, but I've had it sitting there and I've been dying to use it for something. And I'm kind of like, oh, you know, it's cute and I want it to. Now I'm thinking, let me see here. I'm going to have to keep, I believe I'm going to have to keep pulling this in to make sure. Yeah, see, that's going way over. So I will be pulling this one in and gluing another envelope to this part. I know, I'm asking myself the same thing. How in the world am I going to make these connect correctly. I'm sure that there are those of you out there who are looking at what I'm doing and going, wait, how's that going to work? I'm asking the same thing. That's why I'm hem-hawing. Because like I said to you before, I have not planned this out. And I may use my book glue, and when I'm all said and done, I may use the book glue to glue this into here and see how that works out for me, because I bought some and I haven't used it yet. It's book binding. I don't know if it's technically any different than anyone else's glue, but now if I put this on here, okay, and then I'm impacting this pocket, but if I put this on here, trim, you know, tear this right here so that this is not connected. So it's glued to this top portion, but then it's glued to the bottom portion and movable. That would work, because then that would allow the pocket to still move. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here. Where do I need this to be? You know, I left so much on this one here. I'm going to trim this down so it's not, where's my scissors? So it's not throwing me off on this. I'm going to trim just a little more of that pink one off as well. Yeah, I'm taking that, the white. Okay, stop. There we go. All right. There we go. So now we're still within, but we are off. Look at my cutting. I can tell I've been doing a lot of, stay where you are, stay stable. I've been doing a lot of art journaling and a lot of painting and stuff lately, and I can tell, I feel like I've been days and days without cutting or gluing or playing with my paper like I normally do, and I can feel it. In doing it now, I can kind of feel it. It's weird, right? I think that's kind of weird, but anyway. So I am, like I said, we've got to make sure this is going to fit into the envelope. So this piece is going to have to be bent, like glued all the way onto another piece, because otherwise this, I mean, I could cut this so it's a side pocket though, so it wouldn't be so big a deal, but I'm just making sure I get this in the right spot. Do I want it down further? It could be down further. Okay, I'm going to put the glue on and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to tear it approximately. I'm going to glue to this point and I'm going to tear right here. There. Okay. All right. Now, back where I was. Set this here. Okay. I'm a little bit out. Dang it, I'm a little too far in. Or, yeah, too far over. Oh, it's probably just that these are too far over, too. Okay, there we go. All right. As you can tell, this is taking like all of Tara's concentration. I'm serious. So much so. And I will trim that and make it a pocket. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this portion. And I'm not going to put any glue right at the top of that paper because I don't want it to, so I'm like leaving a tiny little spot right there. I may end up trimming it off. I don't know. We'll see how it goes for me. I want it to be able to move with this. Let's see. I kind of like the torn factor. I think that's cool. So there we go. There's those. So we have this, and then we have this one. this one and this one. Okay. And like I said, I want these pages to be able to move, like this one, if I want them to. And this one I brought in because of the width of this envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this envelope and create a pocket because it's a little bit wider than I need it to be. I'm going to actually try to do this as evenly as I can. I know I should pull out my paper cutter, but I'm being lazy. I actually don't want to make a huge mess. My landlord is trying to get a loan on all his properties, and he asked me if I would straighten up and, you know, and make sure the house looks nice. They're bringing an appraiser over sometime this week, and I said yeah. So I don't want to mess my area up too much because I straightened it last night. That'll be good. Anyway, let's see here. Got this lovely brown envelope. That's one of those big ones I'd rather use for a cover if this idea actually works for me. Let's see. I'm just over here going through these envelopes a little bit. I wish I had, you know, been patient enough to coffee dye them, but I'm not. As you all know, I am not patient enough. So that one would be fine if I wanted to paper this and just glue it to the other envelope. But then it would block part of this, and I'm trying to avoid that by doing these hinged pieces. Let's see. That's part of why I'm doing that, is I want there to be movement, and I want there to be space for whatever I'm going to do in here. I don't even know if I'm making sense, and I apologize for that. Okay. Do I want it to go this way, or do I'm going to fold this in half. Trim this so it's more even. You could also tear these down if you wanted to, so they have torn edges. Okay. All right. Yeah, there we go. It's better with the hinge, I think, because it gives me more space to decorate, and it also, I don't know why I'm using my envelope as a glue board. Not a good idea, right? Not at all. I'm going to put this one on the back. Okay. And wipe that glue off real quick before it has a chance to get on anything. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue this to this piece. So I'm in doing this, I'm getting the full range of the envelope and not gluing them to each other, you know. I think my point was moot, because what I did right now was create, actually, I think I might put this one on the back of this one, and then that way I have, I'm doing it again, that way I have that same type of, no, that's not working. Not unless I did not glue the whole thing. Let's see. Yeah, that's not working. I was imagining things. If you guys are still with me, thank you. I don't deserve you to be. I'm being a mess today, as you can tell. Yeah, there we go. I don't even know if this video will get posted. I don't know, I really wanted to have, yeah, I ended up doing the very thing I didn't want to do, which is crazy. It's craziness, I tell you. Oh, I'm still in the range though, so this one still has its, you know, more of an opening. It's kind of blocked here, but then this one has more of an opening, ability to open, so that's not too bad. I got to remember that this is my top because of the fact, you see, I'm not caring too much for this one being, oops. Glued down right here, but I guess it's okay. Just, you know, we can also use paper, and I was thinking we could also utilize, let's see if it'll work. I don't know what I'm thinking, so let's see if I'm thinking correctly and that it will work. I'm going to trim this simply because it's torn on the edge and it does not look good. Oh, nice. Very nice. Oh wow, I even folded this correctly. There we go. All right. What I was going to say is that I was thinking we could even do a hinge, and then have like paper hinged into it as well, so that it has blank sheets, not just envelopes. That's my point. As you can tell by the paper I'm choosing to hinge with for the most part, it will be, when I'm said and done, probably kind of a grungy little book, which is wonderful. Nobody minds that, right? We don't mind at all. So if we had it like that, we just do it in such a way that it's not taking up the whole page. Then it would be, I'm thinking. Hold on one second, I'll be back. Okay, guys. So if I have this hinged on this side, what I did was, real quick, I just folded this in half, and then this side in half again. I'm going to try something. I have no idea if this is going to work the way my brain is working right now. I'm picturing it, but we will see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and center that as best as possible. Glue that down. Okay. All right, now what I was thinking, oh, I glued it upside down. Here we go. What I was thinking was if I went ahead and did something like that, and that way I still had it's almost like I folded it into quarters. I'm just trying to figure out how I can have this be on this side, on both sides, a relatively full sized page. And I think that is actually going to work. So I'm going to try it. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it is from the way I'm looking at it. I could be looking at it cockeyed though, so this is totally, I know there are better ways to do this probably than my way, so I apologize if you're like, okay, Tara, that is making it way too complicated, and it would be much easier if you did this, you know. Then go ahead and comment and let me know what would be better, because I'm just trying to have some fun right now while I'm struggling to get my brain to work. Okay, so what my point was that when I have it like this, I've got a full, and when I have it like this, I've got a full. I wanted it to move. Now this part, of course, opens up and there's more space. And I think that it'll fit still. Yes, it's still fitting within the range of the journal itself. So far we have this. Okay. And this little middle section, I think, is going to be where I attach my spine to it, the spine, I think. And in actuality, I just had kind of a thought. What time is it? Okay, it's 45 minutes. I told you this is probably going to be more than one part video because we're going to build this together. What I think is I'm going to build sections of the journal with envelopes that have a mid section. So like I can build outward on these sides. But if I built sections, then each inch, 1 inch section approximately could be brought into the center here, okay, and glued into the center where the journal is going to have a buildup in the middle, but because we made the 1 inch, it's going to have the space. And you see how that's, can you see how that's laying against there flush? If I put maybe 2 more signatures with envelopes against another hinged piece like this into the center here, and I can glue them together, it's going to make the hinging part of this strong enough to maintain. I could even start narrowing the envelopes more together as I build it up and inward. I can see it in my head. I don't know how to explain what I'm seeing, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and do a second signature with that little, and I'm going to be more focused this time on creating that 1 inch piece here that gives me, and I don't care if it's longer or wider or whatever. This is totally, like I said, this is off the cuff, but okay. But my point is, it's going to hold this piece, okay, will hold more envelopes, and then it can be glued, though, to this portion in the center. And then, as it builds inward, I may only use like a thin piece and make the envelopes closer so that it'll come together more like a book in the center. Like I said, I can see it in my mind's eye. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 1, 2. We could even do 1 more on this side so that it's kind of, I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and get one here. And we could put this as short or as long as we want. It does not have to be. In fact, I really don't want them to all be the same size. Yeah, so. And I'm going to use my tea dyed paper. Where is it? I had a piece here. Oh well, I'll grab another piece. That's okay. And I'm just going to use it as my hinge. I'm making these pieces about 2 inches wide, approximately 2 and 2.5, something like that. Okay, so how did I hook this one on? So I did that one like that. So I think I'm going to fold this in. That hurts my finger to do that, to just press any pressure going inwards. Be careful. Don't push inward on your knuckles like that. You could damage them. I don't know if I bruised it on the inside or what, but oof, it's painful. So I want this to, you know what I could do is just go ahead and allow the envelope to be its own on this one hinge. Oh no, I already cut the top off, so I can't really do that. I wonder. I'll go ahead and glue it down. I'm only going on this part though. I'm trying to not get over on the other part so that it doesn't glue the inside of the envelope shut. Make sure I did okay. Yeah. And then I'm gonna there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and just glue that like that, and I'll glue this part to this hinge here. Like here. But I'm going to make sure this is glued about 1/4 to maybe 1/2 inch instead of into the whole thing, because I want this, as much of this, to show as possible. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't think much of this video it hasn't on my side. I'm hoping on your side you guys are like, oh, it's okay. Oh, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being my friends. Really. You're all awesome people, and blessings. You would be your blessings to every single YouTuber that you watch and that you're a part of their channel. You are. I know it. Okay. All right. So now I have that hinge here. And then what I'm going to do, what I was talking about, was just... Oh, that's not going to work. How many of you, raise your hands, show of hands, how many of you saw this coming before I even sat it down? I did not, because I'm being a ding-dong. I just, well, what I could do, oh, no, I could do this. My electricity went off. Pause for a second. Okay, I have no idea what just happened, but it came right back on by itself. And it's weird because the kitchen light was on, but the rest of the room was off. That was very bizarre. Okay, anyway, so what I had thought of right as I had that happen was that I can just go ahead and attach it to this one, and then I have my flat back and I have more of an opening. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put... I didn't mean to cut into my envelope here, but I did. I mean my window here. I should have done that on the other side, but I'll put some paper in there and make it pretty. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that threw me off completely. My neighbor, like I said, my landlord is doing stuff to the house because he's going to get it appraised, and his son has been... the one that lives next door, has been doing all kinds of little odds and end jobs, and it's possible they just turned off like all the electricity to the house. I don't know. Something happened. It was very weird that all of a sudden my lights just went out for no reason. So, okay. So now I have a few, you know, another one on this side. So we're looking at this. Here's our spine. Okay. And we have paper to write on. It's going to flip open. And this is kind of that fun floppy paper. I love it. And we may cover this. I don't know. You never know. So there's our envelopes, pockets. Okay. Then this one here. Okay. I need to bend this so it folds. Okay. So that's that one I just did, and that paper is stiff. But then we have these two, and I'll decorate this side. There's a top pocket, and then this here is gonna be the back. Okay, so that'll be the back here. If this is the signature I put at the base. So I'm gonna build inside of here is my point, and we'll have a little fun journal when it's all said and done. You watch. You watch. I will make this work. So that's all I'm going to do today because I'm already at my time. I love you guys so much. Thank you. If you stuck with me, you are truly an angel, and I love you with all my heart. I can see why you wouldn't have stuck with me today, but I really wanted to play with envelopes, and I really didn't want to do it alone. So I will probably just jump back on here and continue to film and make the rest of the week's videos for us, and we will just work on this fun little journal and hopefully get it done pretty quick. I love you guys, and I'll see you on, let's see, it's Tuesday. I'll see you on Thursday. God bless. Bye, honeys.